Here he comes. Whoa! What's happening,
Bit of tech,
champion?
not sure what happened. It wouldn't let me request to join, but we're here now, so good to go.
Mate, that's okay. I had a little bit of a talk about what's happening in the world of boxing there for 10 minutes, and let's not beat around the bush, mate. There's no bigger news in Australian boxing right now than what is happening in the circles of this potential fight with yourself and Tyson Fury, and I'll just talk to the fans a little bit about it. Obviously, we've had Tyson fly in 5 days ago. He scoped a couple of arenas. We've had him today in the flesh and on Australian Boxing Central, Nunan Boy Promotions and FightHype.com. He's mentioned your name, mate. You are the front runner for this fight. What have you seen about this, and have you seen any of the media today, and your take on it, Demsey?
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, it would have been good to be in Australia at this time while he was there as well. We could have crossed paths and, ruffle a few feathers and get the ball rolling a bit more and be a bit more face-to-face. But, I am a front runner. He's called me out numerous times as well. I know he's up in Brisbane now meeting potential venues as well with Suncorp, maybe some meeting with the local government too to, suss out some funding. So it looks like they are quite serious about this fight, and, why not fight the number one heavyweight in Australia, the highest world-rated heavyweight in Australia, and my backyard in Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. I was only born just outside of that in Ipswich, so, Brisbane would be perfect for me, but anywhere in Australia, I'll cherish. But, Brisbane, hometown favourite, and get a nice loud crowd there as well. So, what an opportunity if this comes through.
Demsey, when he arrived on the ground, there was sort of talks and speculations that him and his team were actually with some other team members from Juco Events who are obviously collaboration with Joseph Parker, did mention you. But now that the videos are starting to roll and that, did you really read into it when you first heard about this, or has it sort of become more of a reality today?
Well, let's be honest, Tyson Fury's, he seems to get back on his word quite a little bit as well. He waffles on and talks a whole lot of shite. So, you've got to take it as a pinch of salt. But it looks like these guys are pretty serious. He's come over here, obviously, to support his good friend and Parker. And he's up in Brisbane now, like I said, and checking out venues and the stadiums and meeting with some certain people. So, it looks like it's starting to come to fruition. So, I definitely wouldn't rule it out. And it looks like I'm probably the only one that he could fight here. If he come and fight in Aussie, simple as that. If you want to draw a crowd and bring the numbers in. So, I am the front runner. I can't really see anyone else that he would be fighting from Australia. So yeah, let's make it happen. That's all I've got to say.
Demsey, you have been now over back in camp. You haven't fought, obviously, since. When was the last time you actually officially fought? Was October the 16th here? No, was it the 15th or the 16th here in Brisbane? So, hey?
One of those, not too sure. I think it might have been 15th or 16th. Yeah, so that was, obviously, I was back in Brisbane on the Matchroom debut card in Australia. So last fight, got back to the UK in December.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much since, we're prepping for a fight around May, June. So, I've just come out of a fight camp pretty much, and the fight day's been pushed back to August, because we're looking for a fight date around June. So we were pretty much in about 6 weeks, and I've just had to kind of taper off a little bit, gave myself a week off, and we're just ticking over at the moment. But I've been back in gym since December. I've been grafting away, training hard, waiting for a fight date, just staying ready. So, it looks like this one's about to fall in my lap, and yeah, what a good opportunity.
Demsey, you've obviously, like all of us, have seen how Tyson Fury has sort of charisma and all the bad stuff and all the good stuff, and he's been through the ups and downs. He's a legend in the sport of boxing. I've got to be honest, Demsey, this is a massive, massive step up for you from where you've been with the Bracamontes and the certain opponents, the Jonathan Rices. You and your team are not scared of a challenge, though. You want this fight, I've been told. Demsey, I've got to be honest, are you ready for this?
More than ready, mate, and a lot of these guys in my position, they seem to shock the world a lot about when Otto fought Fury. He was another 6'6" southpaw like me. It was probably Fury's hardest fight, gave him a big gash on his head.
Backs.
Opened him up, and everyone was rolling walling out. Look at Franklin against Joshua.
Yeah.
He gave money, pushed him a distance, same with Dillian White, and everyone rules these guys out until they get that opportunity and they get to perform and show that skill set. So, and then these guys are considered almost world level. So, I've been chasing a big fight for a long time. It's slipped through the fingertips every single time. With Dillian White, slipped through AJ recently as well. Now with Tyson. But look, I've been chasing the big fight for a while. I've done a lot of rounds, a lot of sparring with these guys. I give them good rounds. I know I'm at that level as well. I'm just willing and I just can't wait to showcase those skills, until I do get that opportunity on that world scene against a good fighter. I think a good fighter is going to bring the best out of me, until I can showcase that, then I guess everyone's just going to rule me out. But that's boxing, isn't it? Everyone's always going to rule out the underdog. And, this is my hometown. Don't forget, I've got the whole country behind me as well. In Brisbane, families. Everyone's there going to be cheering me on. This is my city, my town. So I say bring it on, and I can't wait to showcase and come home with the WBC belt. Simple as that.
Fantastic, mate. And for those who don't know, Demsey McKean was in attendance at Madison Square Garden when George Kambosos was a 10-1 underdog against Teofimo Lopez. You were there that night. You were there. You witnessed it. You were on the commentary early in the day. Do you draw inspiration from fights like that when you saw Ferocious give it to Teofimo Lopez?
Of course, and that's another underdog story right there. Everyone rules us out, the Aussies. And then when we come through with the win, it's like a big shock to them. But it was a massive moment. I lost my voice that night at Madison Square Garden. It was a hell of a night, and what a performance he put up. So good on him, and you got to applaud anyone that takes that step up and fights a champion, and especially when they're going overseas. So, I think every boxer deserves the credit as they're stepping through those ropes. But Look, Fury is good. He's fought a lot better competition than I have, obviously. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. But look, I'll be going into that fight confident, and straight away we can see a few that we can target.
Demsey, you have fought on undercards for the Matchroom and the Eddie Hearn group recently, and then before that, you headlined your shows here under Ace Boxing. What an amazing story for you that was to fall here at Suncorp Stadium, and then obviously to fight in front of potentially 45,000, 50,000. What do you do as a fighter in terms of how to get ready for that? And tell the fans, would you come back to Australia and start to do your camp back here as you go through the winter if this fight does fall in August? Or do you continue on over there in England?
Yeah. Obviously, a lot of visualization is going to help with the, step and walking out with about 50,000 people. So, nice, you've got a little visitor in the background there. So, yeah, a lot of dog. Yeah. And, obviously do my camp here. There's a lot of good sparring over here. Got a good training partner, Jordan Thompson, a big cruiserweight, 6'7", so he's perfect for Fury. Obviously, he's been in camp.
Yep.
A lot of sparring partners, a lot of big boys over here. So I'd dare say we'll be doing most of our prep over here, and then we'll probably fly out to Australia 2-3 weeks prior, maybe 3 weeks or something, to finish up camp there, acclimatise, and just get ready for the fight.
Tell us a little bit about the Hrgovic fight as well, Demsey, because we had heard that was sort of in the works there for a while. What can you tell the Demsey McKean fans out there and where that was at? And obviously this opportunity with Tyson, Tyson's come out and said, you're the front runner. You haven't come out and said, he's going to fight me. This is Tyson Fury saying this. Obviously, you would go the Tyson Fury fight, or would you go the Hrgovic fight and then do the Fury fight? What would you do? You'd put the Hrgovic fight to the side. Tell us how you would approach that. Well,
it's something we've got to decide as a team, but realistically, you'd be wanting to take on the the WBC belt and the #1 heavyweight in the world. You don't know when another world title fight's going to come around, and we've been in talks for the Hrgovic fight for quite some time, for being the IBF interim world title fight.
Yeah.
So waiting to just get some contracts, get everything kind of sorted for that. But it's everything. We've got a few things on the go at the moment. So the next fight is going to be a big fight, regardless if it is the Hrgovic Fury fight. So it's exciting times. Like I said, I've been trying to get a big fight for quite some time now. Now we're on the fringe of the possible Fury fight, or even the Hrgovic for the interim world title. So it's confident the next fight is going to be some form of a world title, if it's the interim or the WBC belt.
I was there when you just spoke about Otto Wallen before, when I actually saw Tyson today. And obviously, he dealt with so much media over the last 4 years. I was at the Otto Wallen fight. I don't know if you saw the video, but, he sort of looked at me. I just, introduced myself, Nick from FightHype, and he put up his gut and he's like, I'm still as fat as I was then. But that was a fight that night. That was a close fight. It was a dangerous fight. It was, I'm pretty sure it was a T-Mobile Arena. Saturday, I was saying to him, I just remember, I think it was September. But he has had some, it's funny, he's when he's fought Wilder, he's cleaned Wilder up where they thought Wilder would be the devastating guy that could beat him. But against the likes of Otto Wallen, and he fought that other guy as well, he struggled a little bit about it. Are they some of the fights that you've looked at, starting to think that if I fight this guy, I draw inspiration off that?
Yeah, definitely, I think Otto's probably got a better boxing skill than Wilder. Prettiest of boxers, but he's just got that freakish, he's got the freakish power in both hands, literally. But I find that Otto's a better boxer, southpaw like myself, 6'6". I do everything that Otto does, but I do it better. I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster. I think I'm slicker as well. So that's going to cause some problems for Fury straight away. A lot of these guys don't like fighting southpaws, and that's for a reason. They can't really handle them too well. So, they're kind of a bit flabbergasted by the time they get in there. And, I'm a bit more of an awkward southpaw as well. So that's another benefit to myself. But yeah, it's going to be a tough fight regardless. He's a great champion in Fury, and hell of an entertainer as well. And I can expect a lot of shit talk in the lead up to it as well. So, which is, I'm not going to let that get inside my head. So,
and you're going to be a part of this rejuvenation which has been happening in Australian boxing recently. So many big names with so many big things that are coming up. Potentially this year, Kambosos, Zeus, Rafa, Paro, unfortunately pulling out. But these guys are potentially fighting big fights overseas. This is one where Australia, we're going to have this potentially, if it goes through, at some court stadium. Have you ever met Tyson Fury? Or have you ever dealt with him, or you've seen him in the flesh? And what is the size up? Because there wouldn't be too much, it'd be pretty close, wouldn't it? Yeah,
well, he's never come across him in person, never met him or anything like that. I don't think he's 6'9" like everyone claims he is. I'm just shocked. 7. There's been matchups of him eye to eye with Klitschko, and Klitschko's about 6'6", and they look pretty much similar heights. So, I think he's, likes to chuck an extra couple inches on, kind of hype everyone up, but he fights up on his toes. So he does give that impression that he's quite big, which he is a big man. So, but I don't think there's too much between this. He's definitely a lot wider around the waist, but that's probably about as far as it goes.
No worries, mate. Well, if he's tuning in Brisbane right now, having a couple of beers and a couple of hot pies before he hops on that long flight from Brisbane, I think he's going Brisbane back to Dubai, then Dubai back over to Manchester. Have you got a message for Tyson Fury right now if he sees this?
Now's the time not to waffle on and talk some shit. Let's get it sorted. You've met the right people up in Brisbane. You've met with the government. Let's get it sorted. Let's get a contract sorted ASAP and get the ball rolling. Time's ticking. Enjoy those beers and pies while I'm about to go to the gym. So simple as that.
There you go, folks. Demsey McKean said it. Australia's #1 ranked heavyweight in talks and discussions with Tyson Fury for a potential world title fight. WBC here in August. Suncorp Stadium or potentially the MCG or Marvel. Mate, we'd just like to thank you for your time. And, mate, this is the first go-live I've done, I think, in about a year. So, you're back and I'm back.
Yeah, that's right. What a way to break the ice. So.
No worries.
Easy.
Champion. Shout out to your partner as well. Say a big hello to her for me. And, mate, we'll talk soon and stay close to more news, developing news.
Appreciate it. Cheers, Nunan.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate.